Hello, I'm Daniel. I want to talk to you today about a text I really like and read you some passages from it. This is not the kind of thing I usually do, but I really wanted to address it because I think it could be helpful. This is Way of the Bodhisattva by Shantideva. My favorite translation is the one by the Padmakara translation group, but there are lots of translations out there of Way of the Bodhisattva. This was written by a guy named Shantideva, and he was a monk in a place called Nalanda University, and he was kind of bullied. Like, the other monks thought he was a lazy slacker, and they thought he didn't really do anything and wasn't really practicing. So he was kind of bullied, and one day they set up a little game where they were going to trick him into coming before the whole assembly and giving a teaching, because they thought he didn't know anything and he would just embarrass himself. And he gave this amazing and legendary teaching that we call Way of the Bodhisattva. That's the story. And then he just left. He was just gone. So anyway, there's a long section in this book, and this book, it is verse type writing. And if you like if you struggle with verse type writing, then maybe it won't be for you, but I really like it, and there's lots of good quotes to pull from it. But this chapter is called Vigilant Introspection. It's chapter 5. It's about looking deep within ourselves. It's a long section on mindfulness, and I'm going to read some passages from it and then talk to you about them. So this is chapter 5, Way of the Bodhisattva. Shantideva says, "Those who wish to keep the trainings must with perfect self-possession guard their minds. Without this guard upon the mind, the trainings cannot be preserved. Wandering where it will, the elephant of mind will bring us down to torment in the hell of unrelenting pain. No worldly beast, however wild and crazed, could bring upon us such calamities. If with mindfulness's rope, the elephant of mind is tethered all around, our fears will come to nothing, every virtue will drop into our hands." I'm going to read that last one again because I like it. If with mindfulness's rope the elephant of mind is tethered all around, our fears will come to nothing, every virtue will drop into our hands. So what's this about? This is about training our minds. This is about training in mindfulness. Mindfulness, or awareness, is like a rope. It's like a rope, and our mind is like a crazy animal, like an elephant. There's a lot of animal imagery in this text, by the way. Shantideva compares lots of things to wild animals, so we have to get used to that. But he describes our mind like it's an elephant. It's a elephant, crazy creature that just smashes through things. An elephant in a china shop. Is that an expression? It's like an elephant in a china shop. It just goes wherever it wants all the time, and we can think of our minds that way. And some people like to describe the mind as like a monkey. People say monkey mind, like your mind is just jumping from tree to tree. It's just going wherever it wants. It's crazy. You can't control it. You can't help it. It's just doing what it wants. Monkey mind. That's what a lot of people use. But Shantideva is not using monkey mind. He's saying elephant mind. It's a rampaging creature. And I know elephants are mostly very calm and friendly. I don't want to disparage elephants, but Shantideva thinks of it as a crazy creature that smashes through everything. And so he's saying that we can get a rope and we can kind of slow it down some. And that's where mindfulness comes in. We can kind of slow it down. I'm not sure if we can slow down an elephant with a rope, but that's what we're saying. And I don't know why we use animal examples so much, but the point is it takes a lot of effort to cultivate mindfulness, to bring attention to what we're doing. And anyone that's ever meditated can tell you that our mind is like a crazy person. It just goes all over the place where we don't expect it to. And mindfulness is so important because our mental habits take a long time to work on. It takes a long time to be able to tell our minds what to do. And so we can start with diligence, and we have to have diligence, and we have to have a lot of patience, because we're not going to get anywhere very quickly. A lot of people quit meditating really early because they don't get anywhere for a while, and so they just give up. It's going to take us a lot of work and a long time to really be able to manage our minds and control where our thoughts are taking us. So that's why we practice. That's why we have to have diligence in our practice. I'm going to read you a couple more passages. More animal imagery, so that's fun. Tigers, lions, elephants, and bears, snakes, and every hostile foe. Those who guard the prisoners in hell, ghosts and ghouls, and every evil wraith. By simple binding of this mind alone, all these things are likewise bound. By simple taming of this mind alone, all these things are likewise tamed. I'm going to read that again because I like it a lot. By simple binding of this mind alone, all these things are likewise bound. By simple taming of this mind alone, all these things are likewise tamed. And the last passage I'm going to read. For all anxiety and fear and pain in boundless quantity, their source and wellspring is the mind itself, as he who spoke the truth declared. For all anxiety and fear and pain in boundless quantity, their source and wellspring is the mind itself, as he who spoke the truth declared. So Shantideva, he who spoke the truth is the Buddha, first of all. Shantideva is telling us that our problems go away if we train our minds. I think that doesn't feel true to us, right? We can think of all sorts of things that aren't going to go away just because we're thinking about them better, right? Positive thinking isn't just going to transform things without any work, of course. But if we really think about it, we can think of how many of our problems we make. How many of our problems we do make with our minds. How much time we spent worrying about bullshit that does not matter, that is not significant, or that we have no control over, and we're just sitting here going over and over and over it in our heads for no reason, and it's not helpful, right? That's, I think, what Shantideva is talking about when he says problems that are in our minds, that we can tame them if we just tame our minds. We can tame our problems. And he describes our problems as like scary animals and ghosts, but the fact of the matter is that, and I wonder if there's a little bit of like, he's suggesting your problems aren't real, just like ghosts aren't real. I don't know, but of course snakes and things are real. We often let ourselves be consumed by trivial things. We are eaten up by nothing sometimes, and the reason is because of our minds. Our minds take us down that road, down this road of a cycle of worry where things just get worse and worse, and we're just thinking and stressing out, and then we're getting stressed out because we're stressed out, and then we're completely disengaged from whatever's happening in the world around us. We are just worrying and being just a ball of anxiety, just holding on to our anxiety like this. It's a lot of what we're doing in our lives. And when we're present in our situation, instead of going off track like that, then our emotions don't dominate us so much. Our baggage doesn't dominate us quite so much. I've heard it said that when you're not mindful and when you're not present and when you're thinking you're not good enough and you're distracted, then it's really easy for people to sell you things. And that's, when I say sell you things, I don't just mean junk you don't need to buy, but I also mean selling you ideas. Manipulating you. If you're really distracted and you're feeling insecure and you're irritable and you're going in a downward spiral of emotion, it's really easy for people to sell you whatever they want to sell you. And I think that's really true. I think in a lot of cases that's how all the things that make us spend too much money happen. And that's how we cling to ideas and we are tribal. We follow the group that we think we're a part of, the group of people that we think are like us without thinking for ourselves, really. That's exactly how, because we're not mindful and we're not fully present. So even outside of a Buddhist context, I think mindfulness is a really good thing for everyone to cultivate. I guess that's all for today. I will post a link so you'll know where to find this book, Way of the Bodhisattva. I think it's a very good handbook for Buddhist practice. It is My tradition is the Zen tradition. This is not part of the Zen tradition. It's part of older Indian Buddhism, but it's really connected to me and to the teachings I like. Even though it's outside of my tradition, we can learn from other traditions, I think. And it is treasured by many, many Buddhists around the world. And have a great day.